You're listening to the Soulless Minions of Orthodoxy, alternative DVD commentaries. Hello, my name is Josh, and with me in the Soulless Minion studios is my brother Justin. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're going to be watching 1992's Toy Soldiers, starring Louis Gossett Jr. and Sean Astin. So if you'd like to watch the movie with us, pop in the Blu-ray or DVD, whichever you have. Get to the point where it's just after the TriStar logo has faded to black, so it's 19 seconds into the movie proper. Go ahead and sync that up. When you hear me say unpause with us, and we'll watch the movie together. Here comes the countdown. 3, 2, 1, unpause. TriStar Pictures presents. So this movie was directed by, you said Donald Petrie.
Daniel
Petrie Jr. Okay, so you mentioned just before
1991.
Oh, I said 92.
I don't know, but I said 91, which is what it is.
Okay, I think I said 92. Close enough. You had, just before we started recording, you said that he did something else that I know of.
Daniel Petrie, according to IMDb, has directed 7 movies, 5 of which we don't know. This is actually his first credit. His second, 3 years later in 1994, is none other than In the Army Now.
Ah,
I see the connection.
I see.
Yeah. So, okay.
I think In the Army Now is a superior picture.
Has
Has better character.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what the movie's all about. I mean, I think it's apples and oranges. I think.
Yeah, this is a drama for the most part. So, although there is some humor in it.
Now, he does actually have more screenplay credits. Would you like to hear them?
Oh, he's a screenwriter.
He is.
Okay.
His first screenplay credit is 1984, Beverly Hills Cop. Followed
Get
by
out of town.
No.
Okay.
Followed by The Big Easy in 86, Beverly Hills Cop. No, he got characters credit. And he wrote the screenplay for one of our favorites, 1988's Shoot to Kill. Which
Do you FBI guys do this every day?
every goddamn day. Screenplay for Turner and Hooch. Screenplay for this.
This guy's done a lot.
Screenplay for In the Army Now. And it kind of peters off. I wonder if he died, because he just stopped. No, he's still alive, apparently. So anyway,
Well, we're talking over the exposition here. This scene you actually didn't even remember the last time we popped this in.
yeah, I will admit going into this that it's actually been a while since I've seen this movie.
Although, admittedly, we did watch this
We did
in reruns on HBO. I think.
But when I just popped in the Blu-ray to kind of check out the quality, and I wanted to just jump forward to say the attack on the school, I didn't realize how much movie goes on before that even happens.
There is a lot.
I mean, not to say it's like an epic amount, but I was at like 20 minutes.
It's a good amount.
A fair amount. I mean, it's
more with this Louise Cali character than you probably would have imagined. Because when you think of Toy Soldiers, you think of Sean Astin, Will Wheaton.
This stuff I was not expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I remembered this scene, but obviously not as much as the other stuff. But I have recently rewatched this. I also have the Blu-ray too. And
yes, you're welcome.
Yeah,
and you just mentioned
Justin lost a bet, so I got a free
You just
Blu-ray.
mentioned his character's name, Louis Cali, who is taking the steps necessary to free his father.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this actor, his name is Andrew Divoff.
Mm-hmm.
I like this guy. I like him in this movie. He actually has a bit part in Air Force One.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
But there's something about him in this. You know what? I know what it is. What a badass. He just threw a judge out of a helicopter to make a point.
I was expecting somebody they cut shots to inside the helicopter. They look down and they say, "Yeah, he'll probably be all right."
No, definitely not now. Louis Cali as a character, as a kid, and even into my younger adult years as I would rewatch this movie, Louis Cali's character I always enjoyed because there was something paternal about him. Like when he takes over the school, he's clearly, as the scene just showed. He's willing to murder people. He's not a good guy, but there is something familial about him. And when he puts himself in the position of being in charge of these kids, even though they are prisoners. I mean, he's the boss. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to hurt anyone here. He's just doing what he needs to do to get his father back. And when he disciplines the boys, and he does, I don't think he enjoys it. Not really. He's just kind of being like some sort of like stern father figure almost. Again, not to say that he's not a vicious guy. I mean, when we later see Wesley gets killed, Wesley Crusher dies.
I think it's Trotter. That's his last name.
Is it Trotter? Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember what the character's
his character's name, his first name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get it. Give me a second. But when he leans over and puts his hand on Will Wheaton's neck, you see that look of disappointment and regret. Like he didn't want this, and I actually feel sadness from him over that. And that the comparison of that I was going to make was Executive Decision, the bad guy in that. He had a very similar quality. He could be horribly ruthless, but there was something tender about the guy. That's why we like him in that movie. And I think Luis Cali has a very similar quality. Would you agree?
Well, you just made you took everything away from me.
Oh, sorry.
That's everything I was going to say, pretty much.
Oh, my apologies.
I agree wholeheartedly. That's the feeling I had when I rewatched it, that he had that paternal quality to him. And I was going to use Executive Decision as my comparison. Although it's not nearly as strong as Executive Decision.
No, I would agree.
David
Suchet is amazing.
Yes, but he had a bit more to work with. Was it Andrew Divoff?
Andrew Divoff.
And Andrew Divoff, not as much to work with in this movie.
Fair enough. I think if he had that material, I think he could have done it.
I think so. When I rewatched it, like I said, it'd been a long time since I'd seen it all the way through. And what I found myself more interested in this time was the Luis Cali character.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's actually kind of interesting. It's there's nothing really there on the page. It's the actor bringing something to that character when he's on screen. There's something interesting about him, but it's just short of being kind of interesting. It's just, they could have had something there, and then they just missed. They're focused on the wrong thing.
Well,
I think.
I see what you're saying as far as missing something, but I think in defense of the movie, not to say that element couldn't have been broadened, but I mean, this movie was directed at probably males 13 to 18. Who probably didn't give a shit about Cali. But as an adult, you go back, and you see that, and it's really neat. Look at him back there picking his nose. Well, since we've got Louis Gossett Jr. on screen, do you want to say anything about that?
Well, Louis Gossett Jr., this was after, I think maybe the sequel to Iron Eagle had to have been, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Probably between Iron Eagle 2 and 3 is when he made this.
That sounds about right.
And then I don't know what happened to him after that. I think this was one of the last major things he did. I know he's still working today, but I think the last major theatrical release that I remember him having.
Well, I can solve that.
He did a good job in it. I think he and Sean Astin worked pretty well together. Not fantastic chemistry, but pretty good. I think Will Wheaton and Sean Astin work pretty well together now that they're on screen.
I think the casting was pretty good overall.
Like
really.
With the whole cadre of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr. has 199 film credits to his name.
He's an actor. He's a working actor. He's
what did I say this was? 91?
91.
Let's see. He did Iron Eagle 2 in 88. And then El Diablo in 90. So he started doing, that was a HBO TV movie.
Right. Was that actually made for HBO, or did it just end up there? Because it looks like it.
I don't know.
It looks very cinematic.
A year after this, he did Ace's Iron Eagle 3.
So I was right. It was between 2 and 3.
Well, he did hit Diggstown in 92, which was a really good movie.
That was a theatrical release.
Yes, it was. Not a big one, but it was. And just scrolling, well, there's Iron Eagle 4. I gotta say, it's downhill from there. I mean, he's in a ton of stuff, but nothing. Yeah, I'd say your comment was right. This is kind of the last gasp of his theatrical
career.
Serious theatrical career. Sadly.
Yes, to Phil. May he get laid while on
But I would say he had pretty much mastered the cool authority figure.
/ mentor.
/ mentor. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. He pretty much got it to a T.
It was probably his Iron Eagle performance that got him this job.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's
Of
practically
course.
the same character.
It's Chappie.
Except he's not fixing planes. He's the headmaster.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Basically.
100%.
So this was 91, and I think this was probably when Sean Astin was making that transition.
Yeah, he was. Oh gosh,
This was before Rudy.
Was
Rudy,
it just before?
I think Rudy was like 94.
Okay.
So this was a little bit before Rudy, but after like Whitewater Summer. So
Yeah.
he was kind of like transitioning into more
His adult
look. Yeah.
Yeah. In this group of kids, the only one that I know is Keith Coogan, right there. Of course, he's Adventures in Babysitting is where I first saw him. And then
Book of Love.
Book of Love. Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead. And then of course there's Will Wheaton, who Joey Trotta is.
Oh, it's Joey.
Joey Trotta.
It's Trotta.
Trotta,
Not
yeah.
Trotter?
No, it's
Oh.
a Trotta. The other two guys, I don't know.
recognize them. I think the Hispanic guy looks a little familiar.
He does a little bit.
Maybe because he looks like from Saved by the Bell a little bit.
I don't know. He's got a little quality to him. I like him. The black guy looks like he just looks like an older version of the kid from Swamp Thing.
A little bit. Like
the
this,
big
but maybe it is
glasses.
him. He just grew up.
Shit,
and he worked out.
It damn well could be.
But this scene is completely antiquated today. A kid watching this wouldn't get it. Like a phone sex line, like those don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I'm sure they do, but who uses them?
Well, it may be an antiquated means of getting your rocks off, but the fact is, any teenager watching this, they get it. Even if the way that they're doing
they
it is,
get it, but they would think like, who did they call? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
they wouldn't get it.
that.
Like back in the early 90s, a 976 number or whatever, 900 number is like perfectly understandable.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, they're clearly going into hiding to do this thing, and they're all excited and nervous.
And this is actually a really good idea. Not the calling the phone sex line. I mean, what he did with the scope bottles.
Oh yeah,
He put
the
vodka
alcohol.
in the scope and dyed it green. That's brilliant.
Because it already smells alcohol.
Yeah, and when you taste it, it doesn't taste like. It'll taste like mouthwash too.
Well, it's alcohol, minty alcohol.
Yeah, so it's just a way to hide alcohol in the dorm room.
in plain sight.
Brilliant.
It really is. I mean, this. I'm sure a lot of people did that in college after this.
Yeah, maybe so.
I've never been to a boys' school, lived in one and all that. But if I ever did, I would want my headmaster to be Louis Gossett Jr. I mean, does it get cooler than that? Really?
Would you?
He has both the character and Louis Gossett Jr.
Well, he's not even the headmaster. It's
no, you're right, but
it's,
it's Denham Elliott,
Yeah.
but he's clearly
I was gonna say Marcus, but it's Marcus Brody.
but he's clearly he's the man,
Right.
And he's the one that the students both fear and respect.
Mm-hmm.
He has that quality of nurturing supportiveness, while at the same time, like, there's not an ounce of weakness in him, and you want to please him. You want him to be proud of you. That's such an amazing blend of quality of character traits, you know? And he knows exactly what's going on. Like, you can't pull one on him. And don't try, or he'll get really mad.
Yeah, I prefer his leadership style because he doesn't try to cross the bound of
Being their friend.
He realizes that, yeah, you can't be a leader and their friend at the same time.
Yeah.
Although he's not completely cold either.
No.
He does care about them, and he shows that, but in a very hard way. You know, it's tough love.
But not even like super. I mean, he's making it clear here. He's caught the boys. Mm-hmm. He's making it clear that he's in charge and they're busted and they're not going to get away with it. But I don't feel like, however, he's going to go out of his way to like ruin their lives. You know, he doesn't want to see that. He wants to see them succeed, but they also have to learn discipline, you know. And he's really quite impressed with what.
Yeah, there's a moment after Sean Astin leaves where he kind of looks at all their setup and he kind of just chuckles to himself because it is kind of silly what they're doing, and you know, I think he can see the humor in it.
Oh, sure.
But he knows his position as an authority. He has to bust them. That's you know what he has to do.
Yeah. And when they pull the prank of getting the headmaster's office
Furniture.
supplies outside.
Yeah.
When all the kids leave, they're just like, "Good God, this is amazing! How'd they do this?" You know, they're impressed.
So
he's particularly hard on Sean Astin.
Well, he knows he needs to be.
Because he's the leader, and he knows it.
Yeah. You see?
See, it's all an act. He dropped it, and he's like, "Oh God, look, these kids," you know. That's what makes him so cool. Is like that was all an act, you know. I mean, he was genuinely like, "What the hell's going on?" But so much of that was just bravado. It was just him playing the part, you know. Like this stuff. Do you think now, since you more recently we watched it, did we need this stuff with Callie taking over the truck? Although he's getting his supplies, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or men.
I don't remember what he's doing here, actually.
Well, it sure looks like to me
Is he crossing the border? Is that what this is? Are they border patrol? Yeah, it says border patrol.
Oh,
in the
he's
truck.
with them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, it has been a bit. Did they ever explain in the movie, since you rewatched it, who the white guy is?
They don't go into detail about his crew.
Because he's the only clearly Caucasian man in the group. They're all Hispanic.
I think it would have been interesting if they did. If they gave his guy from Total Recall. If they gave him, I don't know his name.
No, I'm sure she hated him.
I'm sure.
Minute of it.
Yeah, I know he's been in other things, but I can't remember.
No, that's it. He's Total Recall to me.
If they had given him a bit of a character and some dialogue between him and Callie, like they did with him,
like they
and
grew up together or something.
Something.
Maybe
yeah.
they do. Are you sure?
I didn't recall anything like that.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of like that.
Well, he's the only guy that he really talks to.
Yeah.
He's the only terrorist that has dialogue, I think.
That's true.
At least it's in English.
That you understand. Yeah.
But, you know, it's not as good as the byplay that he and Richter have in Total Recall.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, some back and forth between the two would have been nice, but and we just didn't get that. I mean, I think it's... I don't know if it was. I think it builds tension when you have these parallel stories running, and then you know they're going to intertwine eventually. You just don't know how or when.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of tense on the first viewing, I suppose, but not so much the second time because you don't really know much about the crew or the Callie character, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other than what was set up in the exposition, which wasn't much. You just know that he's very ruthless and that he wants his father. And I think they made a reference to his son, who goes to this school. So I think...
Wait, what?
That in the opening scene of them running, the jogging scene,
Oh, the
their friend,
boys.
yeah, the friend Donahue, their friend Donahue.
Oh yeah, the blonde.
Yeah, the blonde kid.
Yeah.
He was the one that Callie was coming after
And why?
because he was the son of so and so. He wanted to get that kid.
Oh.
Yeah, but they knew that Callie was probably going to be coming after him, or that his life was maybe in danger in some way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's you know what? I didn't want to say it because I was kind of embarrassed because I didn't remember why they came to this school. But now, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It's not just that they're vulnerable kids. They wanted one in particular. Okay.
Yeah, but which now that I think about it, unless I'm remembering wrong, is kind of a plot hole because if they knew Callie may be coming after this kid, don't you think they may have thought that Callie would be coming here to kidnap him or something? Or
So why wouldn't the government be ready to
yeah,
do
why would they?
something?
Yeah, like
Fair enough.
if I'm remembering
Maybe they
that
didn't
right.
think he'd really do it. They were just getting him out. Maybe they probably didn't expect him to full on take over the school, you know? And then if the kid was gone, then the threat is gone,
I suppose.
you know? I suppose, yeah.
I was having loads of fun until you came along. Should I
I was
pack-
having loads of fun until you came along. Oh yeah. See now he's getting a little more of the street guy in Louis Gossett Jr. here. He's like, all right, kid, if you're gonna test me, if you really want to go this route, I can play hardball with you. He's trying to give him an out, you know. And Sean Astin, Billy, just won't bite.
Billy Pepper, right?
Billy Tepper.
Billy Tepper. I'm getting these names close, but not quite.
I am going to keep you here until you graduate. Probably take years at this rate.
I might wear you out before then.
Now, don't you worry about wearing.
Out of all the kids in that group, that main group, he's the only one that we really get much of a pass on. Like Keith Coogan, we don't know much about. Will Wheaton, we don't know much about why they're there in this school.
Well, I think it's kind of implied by the nature of the quality of this school, like its visual quality, and clearly they're fairly decently funded and so on, and the fact that, say, Joey Trotta is there.
Yeah, that their parents are well off.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to say they're all rich kids,
Well-
but they're doing okay.
Well, they
Their
call it
families.
the reject school.
He calls it the rejects.
Well, he calls it the reject school, and Louis Gossett Jr. affirms that when he says, yeah, because the half the student body is made up of kids that have been rejected from other schools.
Oh well.
So there's something else about this school. It's not just for the rich.
Yeah, but you still have to pay to be in there. And this still could stand to be one of the last schools for even wealthy kids can't stay somewhere forever if they're dickheads. And maybe a lot of these kids fall into that camp and their parents are either, you know, politicians or have money, or in his case, a gangster, you know.
Right.
Now, I don't think we ever find out, like you said, Sean Astin's family, like what that's all about. I don't
Well,
think
you
we ever
know,
really
he mentions what his dad does.
Oh, does he?
So his dad is well off,
Oh, well, there you have it. And he's just rebelling against it.
I suppose.
He's one of those types.
Well, he's a unruly teenager. He's been booted out of other prep
Oh,
schools.
well, yeah, I know that.
But
I'm in.
they didn't really go into what his relationship was like. Like, did he have some kind of relationship with his dad, Billy Tepper? Like, did he have some, you know, kind of a broken relationship? Is that why it's difficult for him to have this fatherly type of figure in Louis Gossett Jr., someone he butts heads with? They didn't really go into that too much.
Well, I would say to the credit of the writing, you don't need to. I think it's there. It's there's a little bit there on the page, and the rest is done through performance. And I think that's how it should be. It's very obvious that Billy, like you said, is a rebellious person who's rebelling against probably a wealthy father who's not around or something like that. And Gossett Jr. Dean Parker is clearly filling that role, albeit maybe not intentionally, but he is.
Do you know where this was shot? Looking at this exterior is making me wonder. Because if it's a beautiful school.
Yeah, I was actually noticing that earlier. I'll look.
Looking at this scene right now, we're in the courtyard, and you can see the wardrobe, and it's so early 90s. It's embarrassing. It makes me think of like 90210 or something like that.
It doesn't look that bad.
Well, it's so obviously early 90s and just
But I mean, I see it too. It's 90s. Just not, thank goodness, that bad.
pick up that banana.
Now he's pissed.
Yeah, now he's
Now it went from supportive tough guy to, all right,
Yeah.
now you're like, you are straight up challenging me, kid.
yeah, in front of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, he's genuinely gonna get, booted. I'm still trying to find it. I'm not ignoring you. You have me curious also. Oh, well, here's some clue. It was filmed at the Miller School of Albemarle. It's kind of a tongue twister, which they also filmed Major Payne at.
Oh, okay.
Does it look familiar?
Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that movie, so that makes sense. Interior as well.
Oh, wait. I'm going to read this little blurb from IMDb.
Okay.
The scene where Billy eats a banana and throws the peel in the trash is improvised, including Dean Parker's response, "Pick up that banana," before the camera started rolling. Sean Astin asked a prop guy for a banana and then proceeded to eat it during the take, even adding an eye roll, a roll of the eyes when asked to pick up the peel. Aside from Louis Gossett Jr., actor reactions were pretty much genuine. That's nice.
That's good. I never would have thought that was improv.
Let's see.
Okay, so
Andrew Divoff said that the role of Luis Cali is
What?
his favorite role.
oh really? Well,
Yeah.
let me hold on. What time are we at? 25 minutes?
Just 27 right now.
27 minutes. So 27 minutes in, then these two tracks collide.
Yeah.
Okay. A and B come together.
See, but quite a bit of time till the school gets taken. A lot of setup.
So you said this was his favorite character?
Yes, he has said that.
Oh.
I'm still looking to actually find out that exact location. I can't tell easily.
And these phone booths don't exist anymore.
Not mainly, no.
See, it wasn't necessary to do this.
Does he shoot him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Be nice.
But
I could understand if he shot him in front of all those kids to make a point.
yeah,
But he did it and there was nobody around. So
but the story's gonna get around, Yeah, it would have been more effective to do it
Yeah.
in front of people, but I think it was just a reaction in the moment. Here's a guy who was standing up and trying to fight, and you had to put him down fast. Even though he was clearly an older guy who wasn't going to be able to do much.
I suppose. Well, they set this up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they planned. I guess a fairly good plan. I mean, the school is surrounded by a wall. Line the wall with explosives. In other words, you can't come through it. And it's set up to be a very easily defendable place, And they could, aside for food, which they have a supply of for a while, they can hold out, for a good while.
I don't think he ever said out how many. From what if all those guys that were on the truck are here in the school, I'm guessing it's like a dozen guys, maybe.
Maybe a little more. Then maybe they pick someone else up on the way, because I feel like there's more than a dozen guys, but maybe there isn't. I mean, they keep the kids fairly well corralled. I guess they don't need that many. They're armed.
Out of school yesterday, and they did not say where they were taking him.
I have been under a lot of strain lately. And I don't have patience. If you're lying and he's here,
I think see, going back to Cowley's character here, I think, if they were able to enter in a bit of a more of a gray zone
with
his character, because obviously he's the bad guy, but if you were able to make us sympathize with him and actually want him to win, even though it's impossible, he can't because he's the bad guy. The good guys have to win. But if you were able to actually get inside his head and feel like, maybe can he win too? And they win? Like, is it possible for everybody to win? Because, a part of me for a moment, wanted him to be able to get his dad out of prison because he just wanted it so badly and he was trying so hard.
Yeah.
But, in terms of his dimensions, it's rather two-dimensional. It didn't quite transcend into the third dimension.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I can't help but compare it to Executive Decision, where in that, if memory serves, it takes a while into the movie before although he's part of the terrorist team that takes over the plane, it takes a little while for David Suchet to actually employ some violence himself, I think. I could be wrong about that.
I don't think he does anything until he kills that senator on board.
Would you say that's
Senator Mavros? Don't ask me how I remember that.
Doesn't that happen fairly early on, though?
I don't know how early it is. I think it's like halfway through the hostage takeover.
Okay.
And then he murders him.
Well, if that's true, then that gives us that time to actually start to sympathize with him. Whereas here, like you pointed out, Callie shoots a dude right off the bat, you know.
Well, it's something that, David Suchet does very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something he's allowing his men to do or not do. It's something he says to Halle Berry. When Halle Berry is one of the flight attendants, and she, after the takeover, she sees that the crew manifest or passenger manifest is still out in the open. And she knows that could put people in danger because he may be looking for somebody on that passenger manifest. So she takes the manifest and shreds it. And he goes to look for it. And he sees that it's not there. And he's, asking where it is. Where is it? And he's starting to get upset. And then Halle Berry says, "I destroyed it."
Right.
And he looks at her and says, "That was a very brave thing to do, but totally unnecessary." So there was no violence.
I do remember that.
He just he gave her credit for being brave, but he said, "Look, you did not have to do that. I never said that I was going to hurt anyone. That's not why I'm here."
Right.
But the way he said it was just perfect in the very few amount of words, and there was almost a little bit of respect in his tone, like for her showing that kind of courage.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Oh, I like this. Remember this?
Oh, yeah. What? You don't speak Spanish?
He tricked him into revealing.
He said put a bullet in him in Spanish.
He's like, whoa.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, and he's not playing around. This is one of those things, like, just don't lie to him. Whoop. He's intense, but he wasn't going to do it if you had just been honest with him, Like when he's talking to Denham Elliott, and he says, as long as everyone just follows my rules, they don't have anything to fear, just do what you're told. And for the most part, I believe him. I mean, I'm sure he'd start executing people if he needed to make a point.
Well, that's exactly what he does do.
No, I'm talking about,
in this movie, later on in the movie. That's exactly what he does.
As a show of force to the people outside?
No, when they have their attempt to get information to the outside, and Sean Astin doesn't get back in time.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. He does that as a disciplinary measure. I'm talking about, I don't think he intends or would care to harm any of these people unless they defy him.
You cut me off. No, he was going to kill them.
No, I know he was, but what I'm saying is that was only in reaction to a rule being broken.
Oh, yes.
Like he said, just follow the rules and we'll be fine. And I think he means that outside of the exception of breaking the rules, or if he has to make a demonstration, to the powers that be outside. I don't think he'd want to do it, but he would do it.
Well, that's true. I mean, to a degree, there is that later scene when after Will Wheaton has been shot, and Louis Gossett Jr. comes up to the front of the school to get the body, and then Callie is outside, and he says, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were releasing him. He attacked my man, and we had to shoot him.
Right.
And, Louis Gossett Jr. doesn't believe it. But, you believe Callie. He's being honest in that moment. He's like, look, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, he's saying,
I
didn't
was
want
letting
this.
him go. I did not want to kill him. So you can be pissed, but, it didn't go down the way you think. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, while I agree that David Suchet's performance as that type of character was a little more nuanced and maybe more on the page, I think this guy did a really good job with what he had,
Well, he did, yes, but Executive Decision is a little bit of a better written movie.
Well, that's what I mean. There was more on the page
right.
for Suchet to play with. But, and I think you're 100% right, there's only so much on the page for this, but they all do well with what is there, Like, this is, I dare say, a really good example of how an actor can elevate a weakly written character,
Yeah. Also, I think they just focused on the wrong thing. Like this scene right here, it's a kind of an action beat. It's not much of one, but it's not. I guess it makes a point. It shows them the kind of firepower that they have.
Yeah.
So it does work in terms of setup. It shows you where the gun is, what it can do, and that they have a rocket launcher. But it's, is it really wholly necessary? Do you want to make it is this an action movie, or do you want to make it a little bit more psychological about what it's like to be a hostage or what's going on in Callie's head? Like when they, do you remember, what was that movie with Sean Penn, where they're in the military school and Tom Cruise? Taps.
Taps, yeah.
Taps was, there was hardly any action in that. There was a few moments, but until the end. But it was mostly it was a drama about what it was like trying to hold that school down.
It's been a long time since I've seen Taps, but
clearly I could tell by the look on your face.
But
you don't remember Tom Cruise's
yeah, of
Hoorah?
course.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
beautiful, man.
But I think I don't think it's fair to compare these two movies, even though there's a similar element happening in that they are holding a school hostage. The
I just have to cut you off for a moment. Where is that guy from?
oh, that guy, oh, he's in so much.
I know him from something in particular,
Well,
where he was around that same age.
Yeah, okay, I'll look for you. What was I saying?
Oh, about the similarities between this and Taps.
Oh, well, like you said, Taps is more of a what's going on psychologically in that sort of situation, because it's the boys that are holding the school and they're doing it for a very specific reason. So, of course, that's what the movie's about. This literally is a show of force, and how are we going to force our way out of it? It's not about quietly dealing with being occupied. It's about resisting. So,
Well, yeah, I know there's that difference, but Taps was the closest thing I could think of, because
I
it
can certainly see the
involved young
comparison.
actors in
I
a
get
school.
it.
So, well, Arlie Ermy just came on the screen,
Playing basically himself.
basically himself. Well, people might not know Arlie Ermy lives. Well, he's passed
Lived,
away.
yeah.
He lived around. Well, he lived in the Antelope Valley.
I know. I met him.
Which is where we live, and I've met him.
The man you were talking about, the older man, he was in Son-in-Law.
Yes, he was Pappy.
Happy.
That's what he was in. Yeah, that was like 2 years after this.
Let's see.
That was 93.
Yes, you're right.
Don't quiz me on Pauly Shore movies, man.
I guess
I can
not.
give you his whole catalog, all 5.
I mean, he basically plays this kind of character in just about everything, from the things that we know anyway. But I mean, he goes back.
Well, it was the Pappy character. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Of. So there you go.
Two are missing. Ben will be shot.
So this set is one of the primary ones in the school they go to a lot. This cafeteria.
Yeah, it's a go-to.
The cafeteria. You got the headmaster's office, the dorm room, and then the quad area. But that's they kind of go back and forth, springboard between those
Yeah.
locations.
Must be in his room to be counted. Is that understood?
I would not cross this guy.
Yeah, he's a little scary to
He
say the
is
least.
very scary.
Yeah. I have no doubt in my mind that he would kill you. Like that's
Yeah, not a hesitation.
Like, yeah, he's proven that, and I think all of those kids understand that.
Yeah,
So-
that's very clear. And you look at his eyes and you're like, this man will kill me. They will explode.
Don't touch the wires.
There's a line he delivers in this movie that to this day I have always remembered and will always remember.
Is it the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know. But it's in reference to the scene where he's going to have to execute 5 boys because,
Okay.
someone's missing from the count.
Right.
And he explains, I'm going to paraphrase this part, but he says, I told you what would happen if someone tried to escape. And then there's a pause, and this is the line I remember. Did you think I was kidding? I've always remembered that because he goes from calm to intense in like 2.5 seconds.
I do remember that.
And it's super intimidating because you're like, oh my God, he's going to murder children.
Yep.
To make a point.
Okay, that's probably in terms of Luis Cali's lines, probably like number 3. I thought
Oh, you got more?
Well, I thought there was 2 other ones. The first one being, I'm sorry, that's not him. That's his dad who says it. That's Cali Sr. who says, "Give this message to my son."
Yeah.
The one I thought of when you said Luis Cali was when he's about to beat Sean Astin with that rod, and he says, "This is how they taught me discipline." He takes open the rod and he starts, and then Sean Astin goes, "Oh shit!"
Oh shit!
But no, you're right. That is a good one that you brought up. I'd
after it, when he's doing that to Sean Astin, and believe me, I learned.
That's right. Yeah.
Whip, and you're like, oh my God. But yeah, Sean Astin's being real cocky with him until he bends him over that table, and you're like, oh, that's when he goes, oh shit.
Yeah. This is kind of I always thought they could have done better with this set. They had this kind of army tent.
Yeah.
With the standard, computer with flashing lights, thing. And the little weak sauce. I think they could have done a little bit better than that.
Now, why is it that they're basically filtering communication through Louis Gossett Jr. on the outside? What's the logic there?
There really isn't any. There is no need for him, really. Beyond the opening sequence, there really isn't no point for his character to really continue to be there. I mean, him being here, what purpose would it serve?
Why is he listening in on this call?
Right, there would be no need. I mean, they would probably use him as a source of information about the interior of the school, about where they could be, where people could be hiding, something along those lines. But,
But that's not what's happening here.
That's about it. Yeah, they're basically using him like he's in the army, like he's on the same level as they are. I think Arlie Ermy would get here and say, "Okay, well, thank you, Louis Gossett Jr. I have it from here. Like, I'll take over."
Yes.
I mean, him being here right now, they're going up to the front of the school because, what they're going to release someone, right?
No.
Oh no. Then I think he's doing right now what you said. He's kind of maybe not giving a map of the school, but he's basically kind of giving them a situation report.
Well, yeah, he's explaining. He's kind of giving them the exposition of what happened.
Yeah.
But beyond that, he sticks around, and there's really
I know
no need for him.
It's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense for the plot. Yeah, but in real life, no.
Oh, okay. I knew someone was coming out.
Chemistry teacher. Do you think it's true? about the explosives?
And this kind of movie, this was made prior to Columbine and Virginia Tech, all those school shootings. This kind of movie could not be made today.
Not well. I don't know. I think it probably could be because it is terrorists doing it as opposed
to in a school
children.
with kids, guns. Like no, that would never pass nowadays.
Maybe not.
Yeah, like when I first saw this back in '91, wasn't even school shootings weren't even a thought in my mind.
Oh yeah, it was a different time. I do enjoy Sean Astin as
Billy
as
Tepper.
as the leader.
He's a good leader
Certain
in this.
actors, human beings, just have that quality, and he's got it. Just like in Free Enterprise, when they talk about Shatner being like Kirk, and how Shatner must share some of those qualities to be able to portray them so accurately on screen.
Except for John
God, we're
Tesh, who's
nerds.
kind of just John Tesh.
Aside from John Tesh, who's probably exactly what he used to be. He does it in the Goonies. He's the leader of his crew there.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
true.
just as believable in this. He's just got a quality that reads on screen.
He's got a fucking machine gun. So we make some noise, we get him in here, and we take it away from him.
Yeah, they're awfully cocky.
There's one of them at the end of the hall. Yeah?
I always thought this was a little like homoerotic. You got 3 guys in their underwear. It's like, could you put...
Well, they were trying to sleep.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, could they put pajama bottoms on or something? It's like, this movie's made for 12-year-old boys.
Granted, now if you want to assign logic to it,
Yeah.
the 2 younger boys, this is their room.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
And these teens promptly kicked those kids right out of their own beds so they could sleep there.
That's true.
So none of these guys have their, long shorts to wear. It's just undies.
Or any other clothes, apparently.
Nah, nothing. They're stuck.
No.
But couldn't they have put them in boxers or something?
Yeah, it would have been better.
Like literally tidy whities. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see his junk right there. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, if I were Keith Coogan, I'd be like,
bro, no.
Can I just wear... Will Wheaton's got boxers. Can I wear boxers?
Yeah. I say the black guy has cut off sweat shorts.
Yeah.
I want those.
All right, enough of this machine gun stuff.
So this was right after season 4 of TNG?
I was literally just going to bring that up.
Yeah, well, of course.
That this was Will Wheaton's first attempt to break out of the role of Wesley. What he left the show to do.
Yeah. And
Not necessarily this movie, but to
What?
be in movies.
Did he have any other like major theatrical release
After this?
After this?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
Look, are you with me or not? Oh, why you?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm drawing a blank.
He didn't, from my knowledge anyway, find serious success until later when he kind of became a writer, a personality,
Right.
which he's been doing very well at.
And he has. But when he's mentioned the past, and he's mentioned that he always, well, I don't know about always, but that he regretted the way he left the show.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I can understand that he was young and made kind of a brash decision. I get that.
Well, hell, Denise Crosby did it for the same reasons. Although hers was, I dare say, based in a little more arrogance than his was. But, she thought she should be the star. I don't think he was thinking that at all. He just wanted to.
I don't know if Denise Crosby thought that she should have been the star, but
That's what I had read.
okay. Well, the way I'd read it was just she was.
Maybe not the star, but a bigger part
Well,
than what she
I think
was.
she wanted a bigger role, and that's fine. But I think as far as acting goes, like
She was just.
it's a cutthroat business, and you're so lucky if you get a job.
Yeah, damn
and she
right.
got a job as a reoccurring character on a show, like on TV. Like
Yeah.
you know how hard that is to do.
Yeah.
It's like you thank your lucky stars and stick with it for as long as you can, which all of those other actors did.
Exactly.
So, but she, didn't do it. So
She pulled a David Caruso and didn't work out for her.
that was NYPD Blue.
Yeah,
Right?
boned out after the first season. Everyone's like, "What? What the hell were you thinking?" And if it wasn't for another one of those cop shows coming along much later, he would have been totally forgotten.
Yeah, like CSI.
he got lucky.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say David Hasselhoff. What's his name?
David Caruso.
David Caruso left, and he made Jade.
No, there's something else too.
Well, I remember he made Jade.
Yeah.
It was one of the things he made, which was like an erotic
he made
thriller.
then he made one with Nicolas Cage. That's
Yeah.
the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of that.
But he
one.
never really hit.
No.
He didn't hit.
No.
You know, he was being lauded as this amazing breakout star.
Well, at the time, it was like even before any one of these movies that came out that didn't do very well, like
Yeah.
Jade.
Yeah.
People were like, "Are you crazy? Why
Well,
are
yeah,
you
because,
leaving the
like-
show?" It's
and
like,
not only was he good on the show,
Yeah.
the first season, but like that show was, I mean, it lost its steam, but when it started, that was the show to watch.
Oh, yeah, it was.
You know, and his performance was like no one saw him coming. He came out of nowhere.
I think we're getting a little off topic here.
Yeah. I
Okay,
suppose
so let's go back to Toy Soldiers. We took a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
Justin and I actually were priding ourselves a little bit the other day on how well we stick to topic most of the time, and then we take a tangent. See, there's his dad. There's
Trotta.
There's Trotta. Yeah, I think it's Albert Trotta.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is, probably necessary stuff, which we wouldn't really see if it weren't for the fact that, Trotta is in that group and
Right.
his role does.
Well, see, Louis Gossett Jr. is still here,
Well, this makes sense to have him address
This
the
part,
parents.
I
He would
suppose,
have
yeah.
a personal relationship.
but he's the
with
one
those
talking, not the
Well, the military
leader?
was.
Okay.
But the parents weren't accepting his answers because he was doing it dispassionately. Whereas Louis Gossett Jr. said, hey, look, we're doing the best we can. We'll let you know when we can. That role, I can totally see them keeping him around. But like you said, having him in the tent where plans are being formulated, never going to happen. They would have cut his cable lines.
He's not watching TV.
Yeah, not on American dimes.
Yeah.
No, sir.
This administration has never wavered from the policy
You know,
What?
Ma-
to do so would only
I do find it interesting when you have movies like this or Air Force One or Executive Decision, name it. And they do this thing where they do this giant act of not just terrorism, but of capturing people, and holding people hostage and having demands and all of that. And it is very, very well known that the U.S. has a policy that we do not negotiate with terrorists. As Admiral Calavici says in Air Force One, he says it's our bedrock principle for like 500 years.
Admiral Calavici. Was he like the Speaker of the House or something?
Or Secretary of Defense or something like that.
Okay.
But he makes it clear. He's like, we do not negotiate, period.
Yeah.
And honestly, out of the whole room of people there, he was making the most sense because everyone else was acting emotionally. And he was totally right.
Well, he was painted as very antagonistic, though.
Well, yes, he was, but he was correct. You don't negotiate with terrorists. So the point I'm making is that
Well, Glenn Close was.
that's not the point at all.
Well, she was. No, I mean, Glenn Close is good, but her character was.
Oh, she was total soft.
She had no balls.
No, she had no balls. But I know it's just a movie, but what do these guys really think is going to happen? I mean, do they really think they're going to achieve this goal? They want to free his dad. Okay.
Well, it's a conceit of every one of these hostage, terrorist, hostage things. Which I was watching Olympus Has Fallen the other day. It's the same concept. They kidnapped the people in the White House, the president, so they would back out of South Korea. And of course, you're thinking, well, no, we don't negotiate with terrorists. But then Morgan Freeman ends up doing exactly what they want. So it's just part of a conceit that these things, exist in movies so the plot can exist. So it'll make sense.
I guess. I mean, I start overthinking something like this, and there's outside of some random act of God or something that no one expected, you're not going to get away with this. The reality is you put people, if this situation really happened in real life and it's on the news, like you can't hide it. That's the perfect example of why we cannot negotiate, because if you give in to this, the world will know, and every school is at risk now. The U.S. government has to be willing to let these people die in that school. You have to take that chance, because you can't show that this is a way to get things done. And yes, it's a conceit. Like you said, you just got to let it go, because it's a fun movie. But I always have that in the back of my head with these kinds of things, which is you're never going to get it. And okay, can you tell me, do you remember what was Alan Rickman's plan to get away in Die Hard? I know he planned to have them think he died, but how? How was he actually going to get away?
Now that I think about it, I don't remember. It had something to do with blowing up the roof. Didn't it?
No, that was just killing the FBI guys.
Well,
but
he was going to kill the hostages up there, too. He brought them all up there.
Yeah.
And he was going to blow the roof with them up there.
And was he having the cops believe that he was up there, too, and like all the terrorists were dead? Because I know that was his plan, was to have everyone think he died.
Right. I wish I could say for sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. But he had a plan specifically to address the idea that they were going to get away. It wasn't just you're going to overpower and get out. It was a plan of escape, which is like one of the few times I'm willing to go along with the fact that he had an agenda. And in that case, he was holding them hostage, but everything he was asking for was a total lie, because what he wanted was in the damn building,
Right.
Which that's why that works for me. But something like this, or Executive Decision, or Air Force One, you're not going to get what you want. It's just not going to happen.
Now all we have to do is get Callie out of the headman.
Well, I mean, of all things to bring about, Die Hard subverted expectations by doing that. It was a smokescreen entirely, and he played on that. So it was smart. I mean, it would have been great if this movie was the same thing, or if Air Force One was the same thing, where it was a ruse and his real plan was actually something else. And you're like, okay, well, I can buy that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can waste your time negotiating with me or something, but it doesn't really matter. It'll just give me time for what I really need.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't he, the headmaster, in fact, because there's other teachers here, don't they try and kind of continue a school atmosphere as best they can?
Yeah, there's some scenes they have out on this quad where Denholm Elliott he has a corral of kids around him, and he's trying to teach them something. And
yeah,
I suppose it's for both parties' sake to give an air of normalcy.
And this is it, right?
Well, this is the
big scene.
Yeah, where he escapes and then comes back.
Ballsy. And
definitely ballsy.
I'll tell you, man, remember when I bought the Blu-ray, I popped this in and you and I were just kind of checking it out, and we got hooked on this scene.
Well, yeah, I told you. I was like, turn it off. Like,
because it played, man. The tension was there.
Because I was like, yeah, you're spoiling the movie.
Yeah, music, editing, it was all there.
Yeah, it was.
Like, you really felt the peril. Very well done.
Well, it's the ticking clock. That's what
it's the ticking clock. And again, to talk about the actors, to their credit, especially Sean Astin, this is a scary situation they're in, and the threat is real. And I do believe his character would do this. Like, it doesn't feel silly. Like it feels believable. He makes it seem believable.
Well, I think that's
damn smart what they just
Well,
did.
it was a good idea.
Break glass somewhere else to draw attention away from you breaking glass where you
Well, I think, they did a good job of setting up Sean Astin's character, Billy's, setting up Billy, and that he's very resistant to authority, and he's rebellious against it.
Yeah.
So that's what's inspiring this. He's not going to take, he's not going to take it standing down. He's going to fight back, especially when he feels he's right. So,
but in this case, what I like is that, and the movie is not about this. It's not about these particular group of friends overpowering the terrorists. That's not what this is about. Their whole goal right now is to just get information to the outside to help get them rescued.
It's not, like I just said, it's not about overpowering them. It's about outsmarting them.
Exactly. It's not about these kids picking up guns and shooting. It's not,
because they don't do that. The army comes in and takes care of that.
Yeah, because they're not suited for that. And the one that tries dies for it.
Louise Kelly spends a lot of time in that headmaster's office.
Oh,
drinking tea.
What else is he going to do?
It's true. Yeah, I guess he just has to wait.
That's all this is, a waiting game.
I suppose.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
I've never seen anything like this. This airplane.
Gyroscopy plane?
Yeah, in real life, ever. Anywhere else in any other film, nothing. It's weird.
It obviously works, though.
Does it work? Is it like on wires?
Why would they do that?
Because it's weird.
Why would they go? Why not just get
an airplane?
Plane? Yes, this has to work.
They were betting a lot.
I was gonna think that
on
too.
Those guys,
on
getting
those guys
distracted by
around.
that. Yeah,
they just miss them.
Yeah, because they could have glanced at it and then gone right back.
Yeah.
So there was no.
And then they do it twice.
No guarantee. Yeah.
Like you'd have to blow something up for them to.
Well,
really
the second
churn.
time it makes sense. The second time it's when the fire alarm goes off inside the trap door, so they go and run to turn it off.
So
that makes sense.
That's a little more believable.
Yeah, that they would actually be removed from that vantage point. That makes sense. I mean, even though if you're watching this for the first time, we don't know that he's gonna have to make his way back very quickly.
Yeah.
But they're setting up these place markers, I guess, or forms of scenery. You've got the wooded area just outside the school. Then you have that big pipe he just ran through.
Yeah.
Like you've got all these kind of markers of he's going to have to go back through all of these things to get back to the school.
Right.
And it's set up in a way that you don't think about it.
The radio was able to speak.
Well, the boys talk about it.
Well, because
in the plan the night before, you're gonna have to get to here to get to here to get to here.
Right.
And then we see him do it, and yeah, like you said, we know he's gonna have to do this round trip.
But we don't know he's going to have to do it as quick as he and invariably has to do it.
Yeah. And the element of the ticking clock.
See, nobody talks about these cafeteria workers. They're still wearing their cafeteria hats and whatnot. I think the terrorists would let them take it off. You would think.
Yeah.
This is coffee.
I'd be like, please don't shoot me. That's what I would say. No pistola. No pistola. Albino.
Now, how did he know?
How did he know what?
How did he know this was going to work? I mean, this was kind of everything hinged on this.
Yeah, this is kind of like Boyhood logic. I think they've probably done something like this before in the past.
Yeah,
when they were young.
Maybe. But it's certainly not on a timer.
No, it's it's as close to a timer as they could probably get. It'd probably work.
I mean,
it would take.
I'm not saying it wouldn't. It's
it would take a couple minutes for that cigarette to burn down.
Well, not just that, but I mean, you can't time it to the second, and Sean Astin's got to be ready. I don't know. Whatever. What are you gonna do?
See, like Louis Gossett Jr. is riding in on helicopters.
Yeah.
It's a little much.
That's my problem. I can make it. I've got to go right now. Billy, you got to get me out of here.
Yeah, and like Louis Gossett Jr. tells him, "Hey, let him go back." Oh,
it's like, who
okay,
are
sir?
you? It's like, It's like, no. See, I'm a general in the army. You are the headmaster of a boys' school. I outrank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now that moment's
I
good.
believe him. Let him go.
I believe him. Let him go. 'Cause it's true. He said, I can't lie to you. That's true.
Yeah.
It's been proven to be true. So,
And Billy, he's heard the answer is no, and he's like, "Fuck you." I'm
well,
going
I gotta
anyway.
go anyway. So let's.
Yep.
let's
And what are they gonna do? Shoot
And he
him?
steals a Humvee. He was ready to go. He didn't know the keys were going to be in there. Did he?
Yeah.
It's kind of a gamble there.
And what if that alarm didn't work?
Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs that could have gone wrong with this plan. In real life, yeah, probably would not have worked as well as it did, with its kind of clockwork perfection.
Thank you. They're awfully cavalier about this. Like, I'd be sweating bullets.
They are.
You know?
They do not seem worried at all.
And these guys know what just happened. They're not stupid. They know that he put that there. And when this is all done, even if Billy had got back without any issues, Callie, they would tell Callie would know that these kids did something, and I think it would end badly.
In reality, yes, but in the movie, no. That never
like
happens.
they don't question this, how that thing got there, and
oh, that nice boy that brought us coffee left us some matches, and they accidentally caught fire, spontaneously combusted.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't mean it.
yeah, exactly.
He's a pretty good Humvee driver for his first time.
Yeah, I suppose so. Lucky they left the keys in there.
Was that him?
I think it was.
Because I was about to say, was that a stunt double in a wig? I was like, I don't think it is. I think it was him.
I think it was him. It was just a car.
And wah wah.
Outsmarted the military. Good
Yep.
for you, Billy.
Well, he's a Goonie.
Oh, of course.
Goonies never
He
say
excels
die.
at this sort of thing.
He beat the Fratellis, man. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
He's been
The
trained.
U.S. Army. Who are they? Jeez. See, now they're getting a little tense.
Yeah, I love that. He's oh shit.
So like this, he doesn't even have time to worry about
Nope.
it.
Keep
He's-
moving. And damn smart to say he was just in the shower. Throws himself.
Well, had
in
he
the
not
towel.
had that towel, he would have had to run in naked.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
And is he waiting? He's waiting for a certain time, right?
Well, he knows he missed the
window.
The window. He knows that they're not gonna move, but this chopper is. So he's on this chopper.
Yeah, why? Yeah,
it's like, why is he their scout?
like they don't need him to look
Yeah.
for Billy.
What do we do?
Wait.
Dave, it's already too late.
If those military guys would have just listened to him and just said, okay, we'll let you go back, they could have provided a diversion, done something at the front of the school and give Billy 30 seconds,
Yeah,
to
that's-
run across that quad. That's all he needed.
That's a tough call, though. I mean, they're.
Oh, I'm not saying that would be an easy
well, yeah, of
decision to make.
course, yeah. In hindsight, yeah, if they had listened to him, but they don't know what's going on inside that school.
No.
Their job is to protect the.
Well,
the
he
ch-
was
the
explaining that.
students.
He explained the whole thing. But, I understand. They're supposed to let a kid potentially go back and get killed. Obviously,
right.
that's
it's like our job is to keep you safe. You're safe right now.
I know
so-
that's an impossible decision to
Right.
make. But when he's saying, 5 people are going to die, see, like this is going to distract them. They should have. I mean, obviously, for the sake of the movie, it's more tension filled to just have this happen, but would have been a perfect planned diversion.
See, I still think they would
They
have
would have
seen him.
They were profile. They would have seen him.
Yeah, they're looking straight out, so it's. We got one boy missing.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I told you what would happen if one of you escaped. Did you think I was kidding?
See, I made sure not to talk.
I know,
so,
I know. So it'll play.
So the movie audio will come through later on, but
I think I was kidding.
You
showed his ass.
Yeah, didn't need it.
I don't know if I'd want to do that in a movie, but
You.
Gonna kill the real headmaster there.
Yep.
See, that hurts. They're gonna kill one of the younger kids.
Yeah, well, he's trying to show no one is safe. Not just older kids, adults, anything.
Shower, I didn't hear the bell ring.
He's wet.
I'm sorry.
So he is. Come with me.
I'm sorry.
Come.
Yeah, let's go. Get back in line. It's all over. Come on, go.
It's a good cover up, but they never really explained how he was in the shower. Because isn't everybody supposed to be out in the quad?
They are, and I mean, assuming Callie believes it, which he obviously does, there's a clear consequence, because he broke the rules.
That's true.
So he does make him pay for it.
I mean,
He's like, God damn it, kid.
I mean, I think a little bit.
You really have no sense of discipline.
Yeah.
do you?
Yep.
This is how they do it.
Yeah, I love it.
He knows.
He's like,
"Uh-oh."
okay, kid. Oh yeah, and he does not hesitate. He goes right for it. Jesus.
This basement the kid is talking about.
I think a little bit of dialogue would have gone a long way if he had said, like, I said I let you out in the quad. They go out in the quad. I did not say. That was the shower as well.
Yeah.
If you would have said that, just
Did he need to?
give a little bit of service to it.
Did he need to though?
Well, I think because he was just they just didn't question it. They just accepted the fact when he said in the shower. I think,
he just kind of.
he just kind of believed it a little too easily, just because he was wet, in a towel.
Well, I mean, under the circumstances, I suppose that I can understand why he wouldn't question it because, does he really think he was out in a swamp outside of the school?
I know it just.
We have a shot at a successful assault.
I think in that moment,
We know the location of every
it showed Luis Callie kind of just not being in control. And I think he wouldn't like that. I think he would need to address both counts. Him.
Yeah, okay. When you put it like that,
Okay.
I see it. I see it.
I may not rely on Billy getting to class on time.
So he's giving them tactical information here in a
I
way.
know.
It's like
but I would rely on this.
it's yeah. I wouldn't rely on Billy getting to school class on time, but
Billy says he can do it. I gotta believe he can.
he's looking over their battle plan. It
Yeah,
just doesn't-
he's a little too involved.
Yeah, well, it's just a little over his head. That's a little bit.
Can you guarantee no
no
casualties
casualties.
among the hostages?
And our orders are to cut a
Guarantee?
deal. No, of course not.
There's no guarantees in life. Oh wait, he didn't say it.
No, he doesn't say that.
I could have sworn he said.
No, never
There's
said
no
it.
guarantees in life.
Never did.
Wow, I really had that in my head.
Yes, you did.
I guess that's like beam
never
me up,
said it.
Scotty. I just it's wrong.
Execution scheduled for 5 p.m. today.
That's smart.
Oh, saying the execution.
He just made it up on the spot.
There will be no further delays.
Did he make it up, or was it a part of his plan the whole time?
No, I think it's part of his
Bluster.
yeah, his bluster. Exactly. He just probably had it planned in his head that he would say that if they did something he wanted. Very smart.
Well, and it's about to go to shit, isn't it?
Not yet.
No. This is not when he's
This is where he
killed.
gets the message from his
right.
dad.
Yeah.
It's after what's his name? Trotta?
Oh, it's after Will
Joey
Wheaton
gets
dies.
killed,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
This guy looks like such a dick.
Real pole smoker.
Just hired for that face, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good face, man. He looks scary.
Well, it is setting up the geography of the
Of
death.
the prison.
Yeah, of the prison of his death scene. So yeah. Give me something to write with.
Yeah, he doesn't hesitate. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I know what's up. These are just numbers. This is not a code in any way.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Intel.
Yeah, I know. It's like, did you need to write Intel above that
Like-
to know that that's where Intel is?
Like everyone in that room knows you.
Isn't the whole room Intel? Like, isn't that what that room's for? Never got that part. Is there going to be like to the right of her is a little sign that says bathroom? So
I
they
like
know.
that Callie wears the detonator.
That
the,
is
the
kinda-
switch on his arm all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you better get a death shot on him or he's going to blow the school up.
My office, will you, Mr. Trotter? They want to see you. Why? I don't think they mean you any harm. I'll go with you.
There was a neat little setup earlier. I don't know if you could call it neat, but you know the maybe it's just through rewatching it in the headmaster's office, where on his desk they have that box. You might see it like to the left.
Oh, yeah.
Next to the blue box, there's that bigger box. They don't ever really reference it.
The one sitting there, the blue box?
No, not the blue box.
Oh, the one.
The bigger box.
You're free to go.
That's where the wires are going into. That's controlling all the explosives.
Okay.
You know, Louise Cowley told him about the blue box and the switch on his arm. He's like, "Oh yeah, if I press this button, the whole school goes up." But they never mentioned this bigger box sitting on the desk. But if you also pull the wires out of that, it'll set off the bombs, and that's what Cowley almost does at the end of the movie.
Right.
So it's not something you really think about, but it's something that's always there when they go into this room. So you're aware of it, but just kind of subtly. I'm not going anywhere without my friends.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Yeah. Look at that. Now, this is not believable. He takes this guy down with like one kick.
Shot to the guts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Well, no, that's what got him.
Well, that's what got. But the guy would have shot him.
I think he was just surprised.
Well,
you know?
surprised, but he was able to take him down a little easily. And this is believable. He immediately loses control of the gun.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I like this look on his face.
yeah, he's like, okay, it's over. He's like, this is not going to end the way I
Nope.
wanted it to.
And he knows this is bad.
He knows, yeah, there's gonna be blood.
consequences for this.
Yeah, there's gonna be blood now. I can't keep this hidden. You know,
Yeah.
they're gonna find out, and they're gonna come in. So,
Well, no, not just the government. He knows who this kid was.
oh yeah, well that's why he was letting him go.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Right.
now he's got two problems: the government and another mafia guy. Like this is bad.
With the guns just sitting there.
They had shot him in the legs. Those shots are gone.
They did shoot him in the leg.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And the close-ups. Yeah,
I don't remember that. I remember him getting shot in the chest. That was it.
I'd rewind it if I could, but
Well, I've seen this movie plenty of times. I never remember any other shots to his body.
yeah, he gets a couple like in the upper thighs. Why him? Why is he being the one sent to retrieve the dead kid?
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't at all.
It's just because he's Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
And he's a badass.
They would just send 2 EMTs out.
That's all they would need to do.
If that. I mean, he's dead. They can't help.
Yeah. This I did not like the staging of.
How so?
It looks like Callie is hiding.
Oh, well, he is.
Well, but it makes him look
cowardly.
cowardly and timid at Louis Gossett Jr., who's out in the open with a gun pointed at him.
Yeah, but he's thinking about the guys like snipers off behind the fences.
Sure,
you know?
I get that, but it just
No, I get it. I get
it doesn't.
I get it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Very important that you
If he had been standing kind of in the doorway, not outside, but it looks like he's hiding behind the other side of the door.
Yeah.
It just makes him look a little scared, and not as strong as he's been portrayed.
not possible.
In particular, in front of Louis Gossett Jr., who he is not afraid of whatsoever. But it
Yeah.
looks like in this moment that he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Important.
I like you use the word staging. I think you're right.
It was an accident.
Boy, he's trying. It's very important you tell them we did not intend to kill this boy.
American government hadn't kidnapped
This is
my
good.
father. Now, we
He
were
delivered
leaving
that well.
my father's
There's a. Did we miss the line already? No, we didn't. The other favorite line from him is, "You Americans always say that,
But you never
but you never actually do it."
Yeah,
I think,
I was wondering about that.
I think that's coming up right here. When he's,
Oh, yeah, he does.
I think
He's gonna,
Louis
like,
Gossett
threaten
Jr. is
him a
about to.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here it is.
They're going to get you, you know.
They're gonna hunt you down. You know that, don't you?
They're gonna hunt you down.
And they will kill you.
Eventually, they will find you, and they will kill you.
You Americans always say that, but you never actually do it.
And he's not wrong.
No. Well, Osama might disagree, but he's one of the few.
Well, for like a decade, they did not find Osama. So it
Yes.
looked like he did get away for a while.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough. Why do all mafia guys in movies have like sunken in eyes? You know, they look like they don't sleep.
it's just the look. That's the look the movies have given him. Thank Goodfellas and The Godfather for
Yeah, I
doing that.
guess so. How does a kid have an accident that gets him shot with a machine gun?
Where do I know the Albert Trotta from?
Oh, Jesus.
He was a father of somebody. Was it in 16 Candles?
Oh,
or-
no. You're thinking of Dirty Dancing.
Oh, okay. There you go.
He put baby in the corner.
Yeah, you go. That's right. Very good. Well done.
Kids don't have accidents with guns.
See,
Like,
the
show
dude
'em
is
what
in
an
his
accident.
underwear.
Yeah, like put a shirt
I
on,
know.
dude.
Like, why are you like?
You're so cash about
I know.
this.
Put some clothes on. I don't need to see that.
Like you are practically
it's like
naked.
Speedos.
Like unless I was going to bed, I'd be wearing my pants.
Yeah, and it's like it's supposed to be a very solemn scene because they're looking at Joey's
Drawings.
drawing book, and like I'm distracted by the guy only wearing his underwear.
Yeah.
It's like,
So he had to be uncomfortable shooting this.
yeah.
You know, out of all the boys, since we're watching it without, sound, I'm really focusing. That's good. I like that. That he almost had Callie's face drawn. That was cool. Who's Keith Coogan? What's his character?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Oh,
Well, you just call him Keith. It's okay.
all right. He always seemed a little too blase. Is it
Blase.
blase about
Nonchalant.
everything. Nonchalant. And it's like, take it seriously, dude. He always seemed like there was no threat.
Yeah, out of all of them, I guess it would be him. Although there was moments where he did look very, very scared. When Luis Cali had him first corralled in the cafeteria, and he called out his name, Jonathan. Jonathan, that's his name. When he called out his name and he had to step forward.
Because he was the first one to get called out.
No, I
right?
think he was the second one.
Oh, was he?
And he stepped out and he looked really fucking scared. And
Yeah.
then the second he was done with him, he just ran right back into the, behind everyone else.
That's it. It's over.
Game over.
President is way posse comitatus, and we have orders to proceed with the assault.
Now they know that they got to go in. There's no other choice.
Move out to the helicopters and stand by, Sergeant Major.
So where's Louis Gossett? He's not making the plans with him?
I know, right?
He was doing it.
Oh,
there he
there he is.
goes. Okay. You're just getting some coffee.
Yesterday, your boy Billy Tepper suddenly appeared on our side of the wire. How'd he do that?
They're just now asking that question.
Well, I wasn't reading the subtitles. What did they ask?
He said, the other day, one of your boys appeared. How did he do that? You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just now? He's
Yeah, I
asking?
think that would have been the first thing they asked.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously, they'd
How'd
have,
you get here?
they'd have
Sean Astin?
commandos going through that.
Yeah.
As soon as Luis Cali finds out about his father's death, he'll start killing hostages. He could very well blow up the school. We've got no choice. We have to go in.
Now, how would Callie find out about that? About his dad being murdered in
Well,
prison?
he's watching the news.
Well, would the news really report that?
Under the circumstances, probably.
We think under the circumstances they wouldn't.
It's the news. They don't give a shit. They want ratings.
I guess so.
Billy, wake up. I'm awake. That's the signal. They're going to attack and they want our help.
Oh, they're crazy. What the hell do they think we can do? We'll get everybody killed.
So this was all part of Sean Astin's plan. You know, if they shine the light and get it reflected, it means they're ready to take action on their side.
Although, yeah, they never discussed that part of it. But yeah, this is clearly something.
But they're talking about it now, so they know that this signal is.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing that he must have left that in the book because remember he brought all
Yeah,
that
he
stuff.
left the book with them.
Yeah, and other things too. So I think it was probably written down in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now it's too late to back out. We
Keith Coogan's wearing like Speedos too. It's like
It's just unnecessary.
Sorry. Cuts on your back.
Forget about the cuts on my back. God, it's the least of our problems right now.
he's always gonna have those on his back.
Oh, those, yeah, he's gonna be
Scars for the rest of his life.
permanently
He will look at those and always remember Luis Cali.
scarred. Oh yeah.
If you say we have to do it for Joey, I'm gonna fucking
God, if you say Joey, I'm gonna fucking puke.
We don't have to tell you why. You know why.
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah, granted, it only lasts for a scene, but that Billy is this kind of just took the piss out of him, you know.
Well, Joey is supposed to be his best friend.
Well, I know, but I mean,
And-
I think he would have felt this way if any of these kids had been killed, and he feels guilty. He feels responsible, and
Well, I think you hit the right note there. Responsible. I think he
Yeah.
felt responsible for all of them. Like he's their leader, and their lives are kind of up to him. Like, you know, their safety is
well, yeah. Now, granted, Joey's death didn't have anything to do with the plans they were doing, you know, but he still, I think he suddenly realized, oh my God, like we can actually die doing this, you know, like this shit is real, and there's a lot going on in his head, and now they took his cable away. That's because he would have seen.
Well, yeah, I think they shut off power.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he would, something's up, and he knows.
Well,
it.
I think he's a bit slow on the take when it comes to this. I think it's because he's talking to them right now.
Well, they keep that line open.
Well, yeah, but as soon as the power is cut, and he should have seen through this ruse immediately.
Well, of course,
But-
he knows. He's not stupid.
Well, you know, I think as we were talking about earlier, that Joey has been killed, and that look on his face, I think he knows they're coming.
Yeah, he's laying there on that couch and he looks defeated. And
Well, I think he should be prepared. Like there should have been a scene talking to his men and say, "Hey, look, they're coming.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, you're right.
Like this has not gone the way we planned. Maybe my dad's gonna get out, but when they find out this kid is dead, like they're gonna come in."
Well, the mafia's not coming in, but
Well, the army is what I mean. Like,
Yeah, but like this, it's not going well. Yeah.
Sorry, sir, we can't let you do that. We'll be fine with the money.
Finally, someone tells him no.
yeah, I
It'd
know.
be a lot easier if I go with you.
And
All
it's
right,
some
no.
random guy.
That's okay, sir. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't he go and help them anyway?
No, he does. He follows them.
Jesus Christ.
No, there's a bit of very awkward ADR from Louis Gossett Jr. where he starts to follow them in through the pipe, and the ADR is, "I can't just sit here."
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well,
Oh God.
what?
Well, no, it's just that stuff
Oh.
with Louis Gossett Jr. It's actually it actually kind of takes me out of the movie because it's so ludicrous that he keeps being involved in these things.
If there was like maybe a little bit of a backstory of where like Louis Gossett Jr. was like once in the army and he knew Arlie Ermy, he's like, you know,
Okay, maybe.
we served together in that in Division Alpha Centauri,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and during the Gulf War, or had the Gulf War happened yet?
and he
No, it has.
says, "Oh yeah, this is before the Gulf War."
Yeah, no, this is
but-
after the Gulf War. This is 91.
When was the Gulf
I
War?
think it was 89.
Was it? Jesus.
Bush number one was still the president.
Okay.
But yeah, if they had said something like that, like, you know, built like a past between those two where he was in the army, they'd served together, he's a tactician
Yeah, no,
at
I
one
get it.
point.
I get it.
But they never did anything like that. So
It would have helped. And he said, you know, I'm going to do you a favor and let you stick around, but keep your mouth shut and stay out of the way. You know, that sort of thing.
maybe, yeah. I think we're just creating a better movie.
we're filling in some of the holes.
Some of the holes, maybe. Yeah, that's true.
But you know, this movie does have a decent runtime. It comes just shy of 2 hours.
Does it?
So, you know, the things that we're suggesting wouldn't have taken like tremendous
much
amounts
time.
of screen time, but it might have sent it just over 2 hours if it was simply additions to what was here.
Oh, we've only got about, what, 15 minutes left?
Yeah.
We're at, what, an hour 30?
Yeah, 15, 17 minutes, something
Yeah,
like that.
maybe like 5-10 minutes. Maybe. I mean, who knows? Maybe that stuff was there and they cut it down.
It could have been. It very well could have
And maybe, yeah, all this stuff with Luis's character was actually there in the original cut and they cut it.
been. Yeah.
And, you know, we're never going to see a special edition of Toy Soldiers, so we're never going to know.
Probably not.
But
It was a minor miracle this got out on Blu-ray.
yeah, actually, you're not wrong on that part.
That's what I'm walking
when the day you had told me, I was like, what?
Yeah, this was just
Okay.
one I never would have expected.
Because I never thought of actually it would make it on DVD, like in widescreen. I thought it was one of those pan and scan DVDs.
This is the part where someone in Callie's crew should have said, hey, this is the same kid that started that fire up there on the goddamn roof.
Well, those guys on the roof are still on the roof.
Yeah, but these guys would have reported it.
That's
Callie
true.
would know that this kid is up to no good.
Yeah, it is a ruse that seems to go on a little too long and seems to work a little too well.
Well, not only that, but Jesus God, anyone who knows anything about asthma, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't work. There's nothing about his performance of that.
Well,
that's
it's
believable.
exaggerated to the extreme. Yeah, I could have believed it if it was something like, he was like having a seizure.
Yeah, that's
something like
that's
that.
one
But
thing.
like an asthma attack, no, not like that.
I do like that subtle notion. Callie's hair was always pulled back, and now it's down, which is making him look
A little like undone,
untethered.
undone. Yeah, he's coming apart.
Yeah,
Things are coming apart.
nice,
Ooh.
nice cue.
Yeah. See, this movie does have some layers. I did not notice.
There's
before.
stuff there, Again, not how asthma works.
No.
He's having an anaphylactic reaction right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he ate peanuts and his throat's closing.
Well, this is part of the plan that's a little, I mean, it's movie logic here. I mean, this whole notion of like switching the chips in these two remote controls, and how the hell did they know if that would work?
Oh yeah.
Like, do they know what the circuitry is of this detonator?
Yeah,
no,
that's
they have
completely
no
ludicrous.
idea. And they tell the army guys this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it could work." It's like, what?
Yeah,
Are they a
yeah.
bomb squad now? I don't think so. I think George is under the desk too.
George
Seinfeld.
Costanza. No, is Marty down there too?
Oh right, Back to the Future Part 2
Strickland.
with the Ooh La La magazine.
Ooh la la.
Watch out, I'm coming up.
There's no way I could haul my fat ass up that thing.
No.
Maybe under direct threat of death.
See, there's the bad ADR.
Yeah.
You could see his mouth was clearly
Can't
not
just wait
moving.
around. These guys would have figured out this spot a long time ago.
You mean these the bad guys or the good guys?
The good guys, they
Oh.
would have been up at that.
Oh, you mean they
fence
would have had snipers there already
on day one?
Oh,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
It's got a history of asthma.
2 down, 10 to go.
Oh. I'm feeling a little better, sir.
Good.
Now, I almost kind of wish they had Lewis, you could have blown the whole plan. Like, if those guys hadn't been shot, they could have seen you.
I know he's running out in the plain open. Yeah.
Naturally, they all get taken out.
Well, except for the one guy.
Here, take it.
Yeah, that he's the equivalent to that guy from The Untouchables, basically. See, now he should be really like.
Oh,
now
yeah.
he knows
He
something's
knows.
up. Yeah. Oh, they got blown up by steam.
One grenade did all that.
Yeah. God damn it, Louis Gossett Jr. Didn't I tell you to stay back there? These guys were worse than the SWAT team in Die Hard when they tried to storm the building.
Yeah. Shooting at the glass.
What does he say? Shinsi Shanfruska?
Schießenfenster.
Something like that.
Shoot the glass. I've just communicated to you, Topaz.
It's not gonna work. They jammed the radios. Gotta
So when he gets the sense that this shit's done, he just goes in there fully prepared to blow the place up.
I don't think he's ready to do it yet.
Not this second, because he's still putting together what's going on.
But I think that Luis's reaction here is a bit on the weak side. I think he should have been a little bit more prepared for them storming the school, and because he's acting almost like he doesn't know what to do. Like they're scrambling almost. He should have said, "All right, this is plan B. Go to defense positions Alpha Beta," like something like that. Like, but he seems just unprepared.
Caught, busted. He's lucky he didn't get his ass shot right there.
There. Now that wasn't so hard, was it?
I would have shit my pants right then and there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got a fucking machine gun. Yeah, and it doesn't go off once.
He would have that kid. Oh my God, it's right at his heart.
I know it's right. No. Okay.
He is so lucky.
I know. In reality, he would have been dead. Well, maybe
not so much that. I don't believe that
We're
one.
jamming the radios. Help me get to the headmaster's office.
Then why'd you wear a radio if you're jamming the radios?
That's a good point. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
Got some huevos.
He was kind of banking on that guy following him in there.
Was he?
Yeah, so he can knock him out.
He knocks him out here?
Right here. Hits him on the head with the frying pan.
Oh.
Pots and pans. I have to wash this shit after every meal. Yeah, pots and pans.
Okay. Boy, these guys are going down like flies.
See, I think he seems like he's hearing the choppers come right now, and he seems surprised. Like, I mean, they should have known this could have been, an inevitability.
This was damn near inevitable.
Yeah.
He goes down here, doesn't
he? Yeah, he gets shot. This is nuts. He stands out in the middle of the open in the open with the rocket launcher here, with the RPG, and then, of course they just blow his guts out.
Duck.
Ooh, yep. Well, at least it's better than being stabbed by a midget, I guess. Or a little person. And again, like
God, boy, that's brutal, but it worked.
Yeah, well, that worked.
But Jesus, none of these guys got a shot off.
Not
Come
one,
on,
yeah.
man. Now the movie's losing credibility. Like there should have been casualties.
What credibility there was, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
they're
gone.
losing it now.
And they didn't hear the chopper coming up behind them?
Yeah, right.
They were just standing there. Oh, come on. It's an Apache helicopter, and it was like stealthily
It's not
coming up
Airwolf.
behind them. I know. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay.
So the whole plan
Yes.
was that Billy would know that they're coming and get the kids to safety. That was the entirety of the plan.
Yeah, well, yeah. So they would...
But there doesn't appear to be much plan to his plan.
The plan was to get them into this fallout shelter.
Yeah, but how? I mean, yeah, they took out the 2 guards in the cafeteria, or 3, but it was blind fucking luck.
It was.
That the guy was in the bathroom when he was. That the black guy snuck up on the other guy when he did. I mean,
obviously, half the plan is slightly improvised because of the way they had to come in.
yeah, I mean, I guess we don't see what Billy was like maybe intending to do to get the kids out without getting shot. You know, but I really don't see how he could have done it. You know, it does not make any sense.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think there was a plan to get those kids into that fallout shelter safely away from the guards, other than actually physically attacking the guards and subduing them.
Yeah,
which I don't think the army would ever say is a good idea.
Well, no.
I think they would say, well, this is a terrible plan. I mean, getting him into the cellar,
bunker
fine.
is a good idea, yeah.
But them attacking these guys with submachine guns, no, that's a bad idea. No, that's not going to work.
And you know,
someone's going to get shot.
Someone's totally going to get shot. You know.
You know, I thought that maybe like with Billy getting out of the school the first time to the army tent, like they had all those things set up, like the airplane, you know, the radio controlled airplane, and the matches, you know, for diversions. Like maybe there was a diversion like plan for them getting into the cellar, and they just didn't implement it for some reason.
I just still don't see how. You know, those guards, like their job is to keep an eye on their hostages. You know, they're never to leave their sight.
He's like, yeah, I know you're right
there.
there.
That looked like it connected.
It did. I think it did.
Maybe a little. Because that, if not, it was like damn near perfect.
Unless it was like the angle of the shot and it really just hit his foot.
I don't know.
On his face.
I almost saw his head like ding, you know. It may not have hit him hard, but I think it did tap him.
Well, they're loyal to the end.
Yeah, I guess.
They don't give up.
That's another one of these things when it comes to movies like this. You know, Callie, obviously, it's his dad. But
Who are these guys?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of dialogue just to say, hey, these guys all grew up with him or whatever. I don't care.
Or they served with your dad in the Colombian mafia.
Yeah, something.
Some kind of loyalty.
To throw their lives away on this gesture.
Yeah, because it's not like in Die Hard where they're trying to get a piece of the vault.
Pie.
Yeah.
Like that.
Although Hans was going to just take everything and kill everyone else, right?
His terrorists?
Was he, or was he going to share it? Was he going to split it?
I don't know. I never got the impression that he meant to kill all of his people.
Well, that's what his brother did in part 3.
Totally different.
Well, okay.
He's like, that's a desperate man.
See, that part I didn't like. I think that
because
he looks a little too scared. I think he's committing to it right now.
Yeah,
but I think he seemed a bit too fearful in that moment where he knew he had lost. I think I wanted a bit of more of an expression like he had when Joey got shot, where he just knew it was going to go down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Maybe a little more resolve on his face and less fear.
I think if he just said to Billy, like, you're coming with me. Like, I'm taking you with me.
Like, you did this.
It's like,
Tell me you did this.
He just would have said, like, okay, we die together. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, commit to it and be resolute.
Jesus, he's jumping through windows.
Ooh. His starburst broke out of his forehead.
You shot him in the head.
How do you feel about that? See, now the real army comes.
And Lou Gossett, yes, coming through windows, shooting the bad guy. Come on.
Are you all right?
I would have sooner believed Sean Astin doing that, you know?
Sure.
Well, it's pretty jovial for a guy that's just been shot in the chest. He should be on the ground in a...
Was it in the chest or was it like in his shoulder?
No, well, it's his upper chest, lower shoulder. You know, it's that spot they always get shot in movies because it misses any vital organs.
Yes.
And look at him. He's sitting down having a casual conversation. This is one step removed from Starship Troopers.
That's what I was thinking of.
Look at him. He's having a good laugh.
Yeah.
You get shot and I'm sorry, you know, it's probably going to be more like that one movie with Grand Canyon, where Steve Martin gets shot and he pisses himself and starts having throw up, you know, vomiting convulsions.
Yeah,
it's like that's reality.
That's reality. Yeah,
you know, this is turned into a fantasy at the end. And I know you have to have this in a movie, but they do not just get to run out like this.
No,
absolutely not. They would have them all lay down. They would ID.
They would have them all with their hands on their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because any one of these could be a faker, you know.
Yeah, they don't know what
They
these
did it in
terrorists
Die
look like.
Hard, for God's sakes. He was faking it.
Who
At the
was?
very end, the blonde. He fakes being one of the
Oh, that's how he
hostages being
gets out.
snuck
Yeah, that's
yeah.
because he's like got a blanket on or something, right? And he
Yeah.
tosses it off.
Exactly. And we get the repeat of the Alien music.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens. Oh, you mean in Die Hard?
Yeah.
I thought you meant in this.
No.
It's like that score and this aren't anything alike. Is it Aliens? Is that really what it sounds like?
No, it is. It was a track from Aliens.
Oh, it was a track.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, this is it. The movie's over. This is a pan away shot. All right. Well, so that was Toy Soldiers.
That sadly never plays the song
Toy Soldiers by so and so.
Yeah, who is that?
I don't remember.
Well,
Oh,
any
it's
final
based on a
thoughts the
novel.
movie?
Bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that, actually.
Well, as far as early '90s movies go, I think it holds up fairly well. It's not one of the. Oh, and it gets a curtain call.
Oh, did not remember.
I
the
forgot
curtain
about
call.
that. It does. Completely unnecessary.
Yes, it is. And it feels almost out of place.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, did not need it. Should have gone right to black. and
Yeah,
just
this
rolled
does not
credits.
feel right at all. Maybe if the visuals were different, but just snippets like this does not feel right.
No, the tone is way off. Like the tone of the movie
Yeah.
did not need a curtain call.
No.
It just doesn't work.
No.
Like Clue.
Almost
know?
every commentary we've done where they've had a curtain call, we've agreed.
Yeah,
This
not-
is, I think, the first one we've
Yeah,
said no.
you're right. Yeah,
This does not feel right.
absolutely. Yeah, Dune works. This no.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Champion. Now we know his name.
God, these shots that they're choosing for these curtain
Are not
calls
good.
terrible.
I know.
Just terrible.
And me. Don't forget about me. That's right. I'm Louis Gossett.
Oh, boy, I did not like that.
No, that was not good. That was a very
I
badly
when we're
placed
done,
curtain
I want to
call.
go back and hear the music playing.
I know what I remember what it is. It's
It just feels so wrong.
no, it's kind of like almost like a bittersweet,
Hmm.
heroic melody.
Who does the
in a way.
music? Do we know?
I do not know.
I actually don't know. I wonder if it'll. Okay, Robert Folk.
Robert Folk.
I don't know that name.
Do you think he makes folk music?
I hope so.
Well, I think the music doesn't the score have like trumpets, like almost like military trumpets.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised.
Well, as I was saying, as far as 90s movies go, it holds up fairly well. I think we pointed out its weaknesses repeatedly throughout the commentary. I still find it to be enjoyable.
Oh, sure.
I think it was. I think one of the greatest things was finding out about Daniel Petrie, about the things that he had done. Like, I had no idea that he was so versed in Hollywood, and he's done many other things. But it's still an enjoyable movie. It's still fun. It's still watchable. Not wholly believable. I think it could have been a better movie. I think if they gave the script a pass,
Yeah.
another pass, perhaps, and focused on a few other things, but that's not the movie we got. This is what we got, and it's okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
If you had to grade it.
I was thinking about a grade. I was thinking of it on a 1 to 10 scale.
Okay.
I would say right now it's a 6.
Really? Not a 7? Doesn't quite
no,
make it?
No. I think with another pass with the script, could have elevated it to a 7, 7.5. A good solid 7.5. But right now I think 6 is fair. I think that's generous.
Wow. Okay.
You would give it a 7.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
I seemed to surprise you because you thought I was going to go a lot higher.
I thought you were going to go with like a 7, honestly. Because I mean, if we're equating this to grades, that's like giving it an F.
No, I'm not saying that. You're thinking of a B, C, D grading scale. I'm talking about 1 through 10.
Still 1 through 10.
5 would be average. This is slightly above.
If you feel 5 is average, then okay. I mean, that to me, like 6 is average to me, maybe.
See, I would say in terms of 90s movies, this is a completely different genre, and I don't know why I'm thinking of this movie. Love Potion #9 is also a 6 out of 10 in my mind. I think they probably both came out in 1991.
Yeah, see, now that, okay, let me expand on that analogy.
Okay.
Love Potion #9, I would agree with you as a 6, but I would say it's because it has a number of elements that don't get explored that actually weaken the movie, right? There's things missing that actually weaken it. Whereas this, I think it deserves a 7 because while you and I throughout this identified things that would have strengthened the movie, these things that are missing don't hurt the movie. And the movie does stand well without those things. Whereas Love Potion #9, while being thoroughly enjoyable, does feel like something's missing.
I think the things that are missing do hurt it. I think it's a detriment. Yeah. I mean, the movie still plays without it.
That's what I'm saying. The movie still plays.
Well, so does Love Potion #9.
It does, but I also feel like I watched the movie and I feel like, God, if they had just done this, it would have been so much better. When I watch this and you and I talk about, if they had just explored this, yeah, that would have been nice. But I don't feel like the movie's hurting because of missing those things. I would give it like, a low 7 if there's such a thing,
Okay.
I think it's a fun movie. As we were watching this and some of the logic stuff, it's just movie logic. Kind of makes me disconnect from the reality of it towards the end. And as you and I pointed out, like the stuff with Lou Gossett Jr., it's like, why are you here, bro? But it holds my attention. It's fun. It's entertaining. Up until the very end, I feel the threat, which that's, I think, probably a tough thing to achieve while still being fun. But overall, I mean, good movie. We rewatched it many times for good reason.
Well, with that said, I'm Josh. Thanks for listening.
I'm Justin. Good night.